Welcome to Social Work in Action. My name is Yolanda Scott, your host, and today we have a special guest with us by the name of Bridgetta Giles. And today's topic, we will be talking about sex and motherhood. So, welcome, Bridgetta. Yay!
Hey, how y'all doing?
So, Bridgetta, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I am, like you said, Bridgetta Giles, aka Coach B. I am a sex and intimacy coach based out of Bossier, Shreveport, Louisiana, northwest Louisiana. If you don't know, we ain't close to New Orleans. I'm sorry. When I do my intros, when I'm doing groups or meeting with individuals, I divide it up into two parts: my paper versus my passion.
Okay.
So let me get you the paper. I'm a Louisiana Tech graduate. Go Dogs! Wait a minute, I hadn't done that in so long. Wait a minute. Go Dogs! Louisiana Tech graduate. I have my bachelor's degree in family and child studies, concentrating in family science. From there, I became a certified family life educator through the National Council on Family Relations. With that, I decided to cater my concentration was human sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
From that, I started taking continuing education courses. I'm currently pursuing my master's in counseling to be an LPC candidate. Um, and I've been coaching and teaching women and couples ever since 2008, actually. Woo, girl. You know. So that's my paper. My passion is, when I was in high school, my English teacher in high school used to have this saying, if they knew better, they do better.
Right.
So I kind of take that on in my practice. Like, you know what, if we know more, especially women and couples, if we know more about our sexuality, if we know more about sex, if we know more about our sexual energy and that of our partners, we can do better. Right. We can have more. We bring more positivity into our lives. So that's my passion. That's why I do what I do and why I love it. So that's it.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. I have a question for you. So you said that you are a sex and intimacy coach.
Coach, yes.
So exactly what does a sex and intimacy coach do?
Starts with education.
Okay.
I educate women in particular, educate women on how to be. First of all, I educate them on sex.
Okay.
Period. Sex and sexuality. From that education, I encourage confidence, being sexually confident in yourself, looking at yourself as a boss. If you ever been on my website, I push this theory: walk like a boss, talk like a boss, be a boss, bedroom boss. With that, you need to be sexually competent. So you need to work them skills too. You need to know what you're doing, when you're doing, so you're confident, like, I put it down, I know. So that's what I do as a sex and intimacy coach. I push for my ladies to be confident. I push for them to know what they're doing, and you know what? Be fine and love themselves.
Okay. That sounds great. So I read your blog. Yes, and it was awesome.
So excited about that.
So the title of your blog is entitled "Sex and Motherhood."
Yes.
Okay, so you go on to say how you became pregnant and how you had all this unsolicited advice.
Child, yes.
Yes, so can you share some of that advice?
Oh, Lord. Well, in the actual article, okay, I list a specific situation where older family. I'm from the country.
Okay.
Little itty bitty town called Tallulah, Louisiana, and we country. We do country stuff. And I was told, my baby was very colicky. He cried a lot. I was told that, to cure that, to smoke. And that's basically taking the cigars, inhaling the smoke, turning my baby backwards, blowing the smoke in his back. Because that was going to cure colic.
Okay.
That ain't happened. That ain't happened. I took him to the doctor. We was in the doctor just about every other week, just because I'm like, listen, we pay for this insurance. doctor, you gonna tell me what I need to do because I don't. So yeah, as stuff like that, like I was thankful for advice, but
Right.
I had to use some common knowledge.
Right, exactly. You have to use some common sense.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of moms, first time moms, they go through that. It's like you get all this unsolicited advice on how to
Yes.
raise your baby or how to be the best mom, and where the focus is primarily on the mom, I mean the baby, but it's like the mom get lost within the
Yes.
process.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, given my own example, my own experiences, you know, I had all these people telling me, okay, to be a good mom, you have to do X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was down for X, Y, and Z, except smoking my baby. You know, I wanted to be a good mom. I strive to be a good mom. I love my son, and I wanted him to have everything and feel love from me.
Right.
But in being so consumed with that, I lost myself.
Okay.
Bridgetta didn't exist. And it was hard. And with that, you know, when you don't know yourself or when you lose yourself, you welcome a whole lot of effery. Whole lot of, I'm trying to be good because I cuss.
Yeah. Be good.
You welcome a lot of other people's stuff into your life when you lose yourself. You know, I was my husband, my then husband, wife. So what he thought I should be, I was. You know, I was Braylon's mom, and what everybody else thought I should be, I was. Mm-hmm. So what I wanted to be, you know, got pushed into the back burner. Mm-hmm. You know, I was Miss Susan Homemaker. Yeah. And that's it. And I think that happens to a lot of women because they have that they can't balance it, or they don't see where they can balance it. Yeah. So I wanted to encourage women to number one, know who you are first, you know, and be strong in that. Right. And move forward from there.
So when did you realize you lost yourself? Like, when did you get that revelation that, you know, did it come like quickly, or was it like a process over time where you're like?
It was a process.
Okay.
It was a process because I moved away from a lot of things that I love to do. Mm-hmm. You know, when I have friends that may not have been parents at the time, mm-hmm. when I have friends say, hey, I want to, you know, we have this poetry night coming up. Let's go to Words Over Lattes. Let's do this. And I'm like, no. I don't want to do that. Whereas I was always down. Okay, yeah, girl, let's go. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. You know, and I wasn't trying to figure ways to do these fulfilling things for myself and be a mom. Right. And I think it was a progression when I noticed myself slowly deteriorating, and I was not happy. Mm-hmm. I was miserable, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I was crying all the time, and I didn't. It dawned on me one day. I'm like, you know what? I haven't gone to the movies in a while. I haven't watched something outside of Disney Channel for a long time. Why? You know, and it happens, and it happens fast and quick, and before you know it, you ain't had your hair done. You've been wearing the same sweatpants for 3 days, and makeup. What's makeup?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Happens. Yeah. And, you know, that's what I find interesting when you said that you were receiving a lot of unsolicited advice, that none of the unsolicited advice talked about what you were experiencing.
None of it. And when I start asking questions like, okay, well, Mama X, what do you like to do, mm-hmm. you know, outside when you're not, you know, momming? Right. You're not being a mother. What do you like to do? Mm-hmm. No matter where the conversation, it would always go back to mommy stuff. It would always go back domestic in the house mm-hmm. stuff. Always. And I'm like, well, yeah, we got that. We got that covered. We are moms. Let's roar. Now, outside of that, what we gonna do?
Yeah, I can relate to that. My husband and I, we don't have any children, but of course, the majority of our friends do. Mm-hmm. And the conversation is just dominated by the kids, the school, the clothes, the projects, the whatever. But but it's like, who are you? Mm-hmm. Outside, when you take the mommy hat off, who are you?
Who
And
are you?
a lot of
Yeah.
women can't answer that.
Yeah. It's so funny. I was speaking with another young lady on yesterday, and she enjoyed the article. And I was like, you know what? We wear all these hats, and I experienced this myself. I had a wife hat, mom hat, daughter hat, granddaughter hat, co-worker hat, all these hats I was wearing proudly when, for wholeness for myself, I need to take all these damn hats off, do my hair, or at least, some nice Brazilian lady. Thank you. Some nice Brazilian lady's hair. And, work it. You know what? Be me. I am me. I'm proud of who I am. I love who I am. Just because I have my baby doesn't mean I needed to die.
Exactly.
I didn't need to die. Bridgetta didn't need to go in there to Braylon's mom.
Exactly.
I learned how to use my strengths, the strengths that I've always had, and incorporate it into my parenting.
Right.
I love jazz music.
Okay.
Woo, yes, ma'am. I love jazz music. And I stopped listening. I stopped listening to jazz music. If it wasn't Kids Bop or Lullaby Pandora, I wasn't getting heard. So I was like, you know what? Jazz music. How do I incorporate this into my life now that I'm a mom? How do I fulfill this need as a mom? So I started playing jazz music in my baby's nursery. Okay. I started playing jazz music things that I love in the house while I, rocked him to sleep, or just when he's playing in his room, just turn it on because I want to hear it. I want to hear it. And you know what? Now my 3-year-old, as 3-year-old as he is, Jesus, he loves to listen to it. Right. He loves it. Right. So it's just knowing your strengths and using your strengths to have what you want.
Right. So I would imagine that if a mom knows herself, knows what she likes, and take care of herself, that will make her a better mom. That will make her a better wife. Because if you're in a place where you're feeling lost, that has to trickle down into your parenting, and that has to trickle down into you being a wife. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yes, there is a theory. I'm trying. I'm working this master thing out there. I'm trying to get this LPC, Lord. There's this theory, family systems theory, and it's actually the basis of my bachelor's degree. Whereas you look at your family as a well-oiled machine, each individual part. Well, it works together as a whole, right? Mm-hmm. Like your car. Mm-hmm. All right, well, if your radiator go out, your whole car ain't acting quite right. If your engine go down, your whole car go down. Mm-hmm. So thinking about that in parenting aspect, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Because if you're stressed out, if you're overwhelmed, it's going to affect your relationship with your partner, your couple, you as a couple, how you interact is going to affect your child and what they see. And outside of that, when they take that on, when they start having relationships of their own, they're going to be like, well, mom and dad did this. Right. So this got to be right because I've been looking at this my whole life. So I'm going to take that over here when I marry Susie Q. And we're going to do the same thing mom and dad are doing. If she don't like it, well, something wrong with her. Right. So you have to think about things like that. What you're showing your children, what you're giving or not giving to your spouse. It starts with you. Wholeness starts with you. So making sure you're okay. You have a strong sense of self, a strong sense of sex. I got to throw that in there. When you have this and you're fulfilled and you're happy, it kind of, if other relationships that you got going on or where they need to be, it makes a whole pot. It makes a whole pile of love and goodness, the good stuff.
Okay, so the title of your blog was Sex and Motherhood. So how does this affect your sexuality? Yeah.
Yes. So we all know, if you have a baby, your body goes through some changes. There are some women that, I be looking at these women, I'm like, I hate your life. I hate your whole soul. But you can have a baby and your body snap right back. Not all women are like that. You're going to experience some type, your boobs are going to be too big or bigger than you like. They're going to sit low a little bit. You're going to have some stretch marks. Your belly may not be as firm and taut as it used to be. You're going to have body issues.
Mhm.
Number one. So if you start out with, let's start with that. That affects your sexuality, right? You don't look like you want to look in your head. So what do you do about it? You know, you can't just, oh, I'm gonna hide all this. I'm gonna hide all this stuff with these t-shirts and these sweatbands. But you have, you know, I could work out, I could eat healthier, but also have a newborn. So, and you know, he don't get tired.
Right.
So, you know, my baby is not going to bed at night. Do I really feel like going to the gym? Can I go to the gym? No, I can't. So what can I do? So thinking about that, starting off, that's where it starts with your sexuality. Thinking about what it is you want in terms of sexuality, in terms of your relationship, in terms of what you're putting out into the universe. So the body situation, if you want to look a certain way, what steps do you need to take to get there?
Right.
What is your mindset? Because it's all a mind thing. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you the secret. The secret to having a healthy relationship, good finances, just being an all-around boss is your mindset. So if I go into the universe and I say, you know what, I'm fat. I'll be fat forever. Man, this cupcake good as hell. I'm about to eat this cupcake. Oh, I'm just so fat. Guess what? You're gonna be fat. You know. But if I say, you know what, I'm going to be size whatever, you know, I'm going to be healthy. Your mind starts thinking, no, okay, let's make better choices. I'm going to be healthy. I think we mess ourselves up a lot of the times. Girl, you got me on a tangent. See, you hit my passion gun, you hit it. But we get off on this, I want to. And, you know, that's not permanent. You know, when we say want, that means at some point it's going to happen. I don't know when, eventually 10, 20 years from now. But when you say, you know what, I will have the sex that I want. I will have an orgasm. I will have money. I will have whatever. You're telling the universe, okay, I ain't got time for the foolery. All this negativity needs to go away so that I can have clarity and I can bring into my life what I want.
Right.
So you done good, see? Don't make me do no praise break now.
Okay, so for the moms who, let's use that example you just gave, maybe they're not happy, you know, with their body after they've given birth. And like you were saying, it's like the change starts in the mind. Yeah, within. Like you don't have to um stay a way that you're not happy with. It's like there are several options out there, and it's like you have the power and the choice to choose to do something, you know, about it.
Exactly. And you know what? Another thing is ask yourself why. You know, I'm good about asking questions, and I know I get my clients riled up. They be like, really, Coach, I ain't got time for this. Why? I call it my little upside down pyramid, because a lot of times the things that we want are very surface. You know, I want a new house. I want whatever kind of car. Why? Why do you want that? What's the underlying reason for that? So use an example of, you know, I want to be skinny. Well, why do you want to be skinny? You know, what's wrong with you right now? What do you see? What are you seeing? And a lot of times it's like, well, you know, I want to feel attractive. Well, why don't you feel attractive? Well, my husband, you know, he don't look at me like he used to look at me. I said, so is your issue that you think you're fat and, you know, whatever, or is your issue how you are being seen by your husband?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you need to understand the why, because if you're just doing something just to be doing something, you're not addressing the real reason. You're not addressing the underlying reason.
Right. So can we go back and talk about that for a minute? Because, you know, if you were a size, I don't know, 6 before you became pregnant, and then after giving birth, you're like a size, I don't know, 12. I don't even know if that's big or not, but you know, whatever. It's a drastic change. And the husband, you know, may have issues with it because he used to you being a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you address that as to how women can handle that situation?
Yeah, number one, my number one rule when working with couples and talking to couples and just having couple friends, communication. Number one. You know, when you know when you get pregnant, you more than likely gonna gain some.
Right.
Start having this conversation with your spouse now. Hey, listen, I feel as though, you know, I'm gonna gain whatever I'm gonna gain. What are your thoughts on that? Let's have a plan of action. If you're, I don't know your relationship. Everyone's relationship is different. I will say this. You know, we sometimes get in the idea, coaches and counselors and social workers, we get into the idea sometimes that there's one solution for all, but they're unique situations.
Exactly.
You got to know your relationship. You got to know your spouse. If you are married to an a-hole, honey, all the communication in the world ain't gonna stop him from being an a-hole.
Right.
Period.
Right.
But best case scenario, you know, you have a really good relationship. You know, he is very generous and concerned about you and your well-being and your health and your happiness. So have that communication with him. Start talking now. Okay, baby, I don't want to be a size 16, 12, whatever. You know, I'm happy as a 6, but when I gain this weight, you know, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna handle this together?
Right.
Once you have your baby, you keep talking. Hey baby, I want to lose this weight. You know, I'm about to start cooking this chicken breast and broccoli. You down? You good? You need to go up the street to McDonald's for your food because I'm about to eat healthy so I can get back into these size 6 pants and be, you know, sexy.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And just keep that line of communication open. You gotta talk.
Yeah.
You gotta talk. And I think a lot of times we're so afraid of rejection, so afraid of the response that we sit on our hands. And you know, closed mouth don't get fed.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. So do you think that most women, they don't, well, you just said it, it's the rejection, but
It's rejection, yeah.
But most men are willing to be an active participant if the woman just talks to them about it. I mean, they're willing to encourage, to encourage the woman. Well, yeah, baby, if you're not happy with yourself or if you want to lose weight, not necessarily because I want you to. And even if he does say, okay, well, yeah, I do like you being in the 6, that's okay too.
Yeah, you have to make, a lot of times, y'all, baby, ladies, please, we gotta stop setting these men up for failure. We gotta stop. Baby, do I look good in this? Knowing you was a size 12, you can squeeze into this 4, and you asking this man, do you look good? And baby, you look like a bus can of biscuits. But when he tell you that, you want to jump down his throat. Right. We can't do that. Right. We have to be okay and comfortable with having open, honest communication. Yeah, not a man, he ain't got to tell you look like a bus can of biscuits. Right. But if he like, well, babe, you may need to go up a few sizes or so. Be okay with that. Right. Be okay with that. Don't set this man up for failure.
Exactly.
Once again, if you are not with the right partner, you may get a response like that because they be an a-hole. You have to know the person that you're with. I would encourage everybody to take a good look at their relationship because sometimes we get with people that ain't who we need to be with, but we want sex, love, affection, basic human needs. Sometimes we be so stuck into, I want this so bad. I need somebody to touch me, love me, kiss me, that the first man that run up your way, that's okay. Somebody loves me, get me. Right. And that's when disaster happens. But going back to it, if your partner is loving and supportive and wants the best for you, right, you have a blessing and hold on tight and talk to that man. Right. Talk to that man. Value his opinion.
Right, exactly. I mean, because he is in a relationship too, so it's not about one person. It's about it's about two people that makes the one relationship.
Yes.
So let's talk about your tips. Your tips. What is it? Your tips on how to be a sexy woman and a mother. Okay, so tip number 1. Remember you. No, remember you.
Remember you. Yes, remember you. Number 1. That all. Don't let anybody else define you. Define what you're gonna. As a parent, you're gonna get advice from every direction. Your coworkers, your family, your partner's family, your partner. Everybody's gonna want to tell you what you need to be. Some of it's gonna be good advice. I'm sure it will be, but you have to know you. If you can't cook, don't burn your house down trying to be Susie Homemaker. No, you got to know your strengths, define who you are, know what you like, and go with that. Learn how to use your strengths into motherhood. Just take who you are and the strong parts of you into your motherhood. That's just number one.
Okay. Tip number 2. Get out of those sweatpants.
Yeah, don't you know I was excited about that? I'm trying to make that number 1. Yes, get out your sweatpants. They are comfortable and they are convenient and they feel good and you ain't got to do much to get in them. However, they will make you complete. I saw an article. Who was it? Some celebrity, Eva Mendez or something like that. She made a very controversial statement that sweatpants are the number 1 cause of divorce. I don't agree with her 110%. I see where she's going. I see the point that she's making, but as far as you for yourself, you need to feel good. When you look good, you feel good. And when I say you look good, I don't need my partner to tell me, "Oh, baby, you look good." I want to look in the mirror. I don't care if I'm wearing a moo-moo. If I look good, I feel good. I'm going to strut that moo-moo. You hear me?
Exactly.
I'm going to walk around like I'm the hottest chick on the planet. Exactly. And can't nobody tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Because it starts with you. If you are not okay with you, you're going to let everybody else tell you how to be. Exactly. And that goes back into number 1, know yourself.
Exactly.
So get out them sweatpants. Put you some red lipstick on. Put you a nice little cute dress on. You could be comfortable and cute.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Good. Yeah. Put them jeans on, that t-shirt, and rock that hair. Boom. Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. Okay. Tip number 3: make time.
Oh, yes. Please make you a priority. Make you a priority. If you enjoy, I don't know. Excuse me. I like poetry. I love poetry. I love listening to spoken word poetry. Making time to do it. It may take a little effort when you're a parent because, trusted family members. You have to have a safety net, obviously, but make time for it. You may not be able to do it every Monday if it's on Mondays. You may not be able to go every Monday, but you know what? Make a goal. I want to go at least twice this month. Right. And this is how I'm going to. Right. We make time for everybody else, especially when you're a parent, because why? All of your time is for your child, right? So you didn't have that before you got pregnant, before you had your baby. So make time for it now. Right. You made time for baby. Make time for you and your relationship. I wish I would have added that to that as well. Okay. Especially when you have a partner, you have to make time for your partner. It cannot be me and baby. Especially when you have that third party. Make time to nurture that relationship with them because your partner is your backbone. Your partner is your ride or die. Y'all down. Y'all need to be there for one another. So if he's there for you, make time to be there for him. You need that. You need that. Yes.
But yeah, that's true. I've heard, a lot of women that, has stated after they've given birth that it was pretty much them and the baby. And the husband sitting over in the corner by himself.
He's isolated.
Yeah, isolated.
You shun this man and put him out the bedroom, and he got this little man cave, or he in the corner somewhere. Don't do that. Incorporate. Y'all are a unit. Right. You gotta feed his need just like he needs to feed yours. Exactly. So make that time to do that.
Exactly, and I think that was very good point to address because we can't leave out.
You cannot have date nights. Yeah. If you making time to go go to listen to poetry and go to the movies by yourself, baby. You better work it. Get you some alone time with that man.
Exactly.
I told a friend of mine, baby, I don't care if you got to go to the closet. You make time for that man. you, you make time. You do something.
Yeah, we don't want him to feel neglected.
Do not.
We
You do
don't
not.
want
If
him to
you leave
feel
a door open,
neglected.
this is the one piece of advice I have for couples, and I hope this helps somebody out there. Baby, when you leave a door open, you never know what's going to walk through. Mm-hmm. You know, that's controversial. A lot of people say, well, my man shouldn't have baby. Listen, when you leave a door open, something, be it a mosquito, be it a fly, be it a snake, be it something gonna fly, walk, crawl through there. Yeah. You need to close that door. Yeah. Quickly. Yeah. Exactly. Handle your business.
Mm-hmm. Okay, your tip number 4, use your support systems.
Yes, and I made mention on in my blog. I struggle with this. I live about 2.5, 3 hours away from my family, my mom, my grandma, my stepdad, all of them. I live quite a bit of ways away, and I know a lot of other women may be experiencing the same thing. But you put yourself out there to meet people and meet like-minded individuals. Obviously, you don't want to confide in everybody. Mm-hmm. You don't want to do that. You don't want to leave your child with anybody because folks around here crazy, and I hate to catch a charge for somebody that hurt my child. I ain't got time for that. Mm-hmm. But when you have a safety system, when you have natural supports, and I say natural supports because these are people that you ain't got to pay to be there for you, not your counselors, not even your coaches, but you need positive people in your life to lift you up and help you. Mm-hmm. Babysitters, close friends. If you don't have any friends, first of all, we need to figure out why you ain't got no friends. What's the barrier there? But get your group of ladies together. Start going to some support groups. If you're a religious person, go to church, get involved in if you have a women's ministry, if you have a singles ministry, if you're single, if you have, whatever the case is, social groups, social clubs, get out there to meet people so that if you need that time to talk, it doesn't mean that you want somebody to watch your baby all the time. You just may need to vent. Mm-hmm. You may need to talk. You may need to shoot the stuff with somebody and see. You thought I was going to cuss me. It was coming. I ain't gonna lie. It was in my throat. But you have to be able to, and I know everybody is not, a people person. Mm-hmm. I am, but that goes into knowing your strengths. If you're not a people person, but your best friend, my best friend lives in South Carolina. I call her, she calls me, and we'll talk for hours. Mm-hmm. We will talk for hours until something has been resolved. We may argue in the meantime, be like, girl, you just crazy. You don't understand my story. You don't know, Lord. But it feels good to get that out. Exactly. So make a phone call. Don't sit over there and fuss and cry and be confused. Girl, get that out. Talk to somebody. Right. Somebody. Exactly.
Yes. Okay, and my favorite one, the last one.
I gotta do a little dance.
The last tip is have orgasm.
And lots of them.
Okay, why is that important?
Okay, so orgasms. I'm gonna go out on one. When you have an orgasm, most 70% of women have said that they have never experienced an orgasm, and that is a hot damn shame. No, baby, if you have never, I don't know if y'all can see me looking at you. If you haven't, call me, book coach me. We gonna talk about this. No, when you have an orgasm, you feel more aware of yourself. You have this feeling of euphoria. That's your sexual energy. Having orgasms just makes things clear. Okay. Makes you feel invincible. You feel attractive. You feel absolutely wonderful. So why not? As a mom, I want to feel good. I want to feel wonderful about myself, but you know what? I want to be positive. I want to bring that positivity in, and you're not repressed. All of the frustrations of the day, all of the stress of the day, of being a parent, of being a wife, all of that gets released when you have an orgasm. I ain't gonna get too technical. You got a whole lot of stuff going on in the brain when you have an orgasm, and it feels wonderful. And that's what I want for my mamas out here. I want you to feel good about you. And I want you to take that same sexual energy, that same feeling of euphoria outside. And I challenge everybody to have an orgasm a day. Have one, at least one, hopefully more. Have at least one orgasm a day, morning time especially. See what happens in your, see how you are much more positive, how you glow, how you just feel. You ever have just great morning sex? And you get out and you take your shower and you go to work and you get it done. You're so much more productive in your day. You're so much more positive. That's what orgasm will do for you. See, girl.
I think those were some excellent tips. Ladies, if you are out there and if you are dealing with this issue, what's the name of the topic? Sex and motherhood. If you are having issues, if you can relate to what we're saying, try those tips.
Please, especially orgasms.
At least one a day. Try those tips and let us know how the tips are working for you. Please. Bridgetta, how can they get in contact with you?
Oh my God, I'm everywhere. Just come to me. I'm everywhere. Facebook, check it out. Coach B, Sexuality and Intimacy Coaching. What's the link, Lord? www.facebook.com/Coach B Sex Coach. Y'all ain't gonna remember that. Just search it up.
You have a Twitter account?
I don't have a Twitter. I'm so bad about Twitter. I have a Twitter. I don't know about it. I'm never on Twitter.
Okay.
I need to get on that.
Okay.
But I am on Instagram. I am Coach B _Love Sex Family.
Okay.
And of course, my website, www.coachbsexcoach.com.
Okay.
So, yes. Subscribe.
Yes.
Got some great stuff coming up for my ladies.
Yeah, so if you guys want to get in touch with Bridgetta Giles or Coach B, the sexual intimacy coach, give her a call or check out her website, and I'm sure she would be more than happy to discuss any issues or any needs or answer any questions you may have. And as for myself, you can reach me at SWIN Action on Twitter. And please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And we would like to wish you all a nice day. And we will see you next time. Bye.